You see, I looked at the world today, and many men look at the world today, and we start to realize that life is changing very, very quickly, right? Life as we know it for men is going to be completely different, is becoming completely different as we speak, as you watch this video. See, back in maybe even a decade ago or 5 years ago, like the average man, and what is the average man? So let me backtrack. What is the average man, right? The average man is the man who is working a 9-to-5 job. Again, nothing wrong with working a regular job, but let's be real. The average salaries now are even on the higher end, 50 to 70,000 that a man is making per year, right? That after taxes can go all the way down to $3,000 to $4,000 a month. Like that's the average man right now financially. The average man also has slim pickings when it comes to women. Like you can't even find a woman to be able to build a legacy with in this day and age because modern media has completely warped the minds of women when it comes to, you know, what a man truly wants and how they can actually be with a man, how they can be compatible with a man. What is a man looking for, right? So many men right now are so focused on what women want, and they're watching all of these videos, figuring out what women want, but women aren't watching with what men want. Women are literally not watching what men want. So from a social perspective, from a relationship perspective, nobody that you can go to. From a financial perspective, it's really hard to get a job. Jobs, there's layoffs everywhere, right? Banks are starting to shut down. Money is starting to be perceived as scarce, even though, by the way, there's infinite amounts of money being printed every single day. There are possibilities, and I'll tell you how you can maneuver this. But men are losing a lot of their footing in society right now. We're almost becoming a minority financially. We're becoming a minority even from an educational perspective. More women are getting degrees than men are. Men aren't going to school as much, which might be a good thing as well. But it's just showing that who is taking advantage of the system that exists right now. The system's working against us all the time. We're not able to, like, let's say something happens in our relationship, in a marriage, right? We're the ones that are stuck paying child support. We're the ones that aren't getting government welfare. A lot of government welfare is not directed towards men. If you're a homeless man, right, and you're just on the street, it's less likely that you'll be able to get assistance than a woman who's on the street. You'll see more men who are homeless than women who are homeless. Nothing against women. Women are beautiful. Women are amazing. But you have to see the difference right now. There's a lot of assistance being given to women. There's not enough assistance being given to men. Men are literally offing themselves. They're ending their lives at a higher rate now than they ever have before. So you see that these times are changing. And what I've started to realize is that the average man is going to die out. The average man is literally going to completely be eradicated, and there's going to either be highly influential and wealthy men and men who are completely poor, barely getting by, like literally not even getting by. Like the water will be right here for most men, and they won't even be able to, like right now we can kind of just lift our heads up a little bit and barely get over the water, but men are going to be drowning. The average man won't exist. The new average is going to be very, very low. So the current average man right now won't exist in the near future. And you might be wondering, Martel, this is loom and gloom, bro. Like, what can I do? Because you may be at that stage right now where you're at the job that you're working at, you're barely getting by, your bills are literally surpassing, you don't know what to do, women that you go and try to talk to, and don't say that you don't want women, bro. Like, come on. That's the nature of humans. The biology of humans is to reproduce. We want to be able to reproduce. Sex is literally the foundation of a lot of human psychology if you really start studying it. So we're missing out on a lot of that. We're missing out on the financial success, the freedom that we have. Credit card bills through the roof. Everything is through the roof. We're getting pushed out. And it's all systematic. There's a reason for this. The reason why is because they want to shut you out. They want to be able to keep you at a point where you can't speak up. You can't provide new ideas. You can't lead other people in the right direction because men are leaders. We're all created to be able to lead our own tribe, whether it's your family, whether it's a group of men, whether it's millions, whatever it was that you were destined to be able to impact. You're not able to do that anymore because one, you don't have the resources. You don't have the financial resources. You don't have the social resources like a quality network to be able to be around. You don't have anything. So you're stuck. And it's only going to get worse. And what do? They create these propaganda machines to then allow for you to get distracted on what's really going on. The elections are coming up. Everyone's talking about the elections. The Olympics came around. All of the news that's coming around is there to distract you from the reality of the fact that if you remain in the same state that you're in now, if you remain in the same state, and again, I'm here for you. I want to be able to support you. I'm not bashing anybody, and I'm not even where I want to be yet either, right? But if you remain in the same state, if you don't make a change, you're going to get pushed out. Right? And the key to be able to advance, to then become the influential, successful, wealthy man that you know that you can be ethically, right? Because there are a lot of people who are doing this in an unethical way. To do it ethically, you need to build a voice for yourself. You need to start talking. You need to start building an online presence. See, everything is moving digital. Everything. YouTube is the #1 place that everyone is going for information. Everyone's going for education. Everyone's going for even services. That's why I always tell men, build a personal brand on YouTube right now while you still can. While the algorithm is still fresh, while you're able to build this and there's not enough competition. There's no competition right now, if I'm being honest with you, because not many people are actually doing this. A lot of people are consumers, they're not producers. Right? So again, if that's something that you're interested in, tap into the link in the description. I have a school group that I've created called Conquer YouTube to help men be able to build their personal brands and gain financial freedom by building a business behind their YouTube channel, behind their personal brand. I teach you how to do all of this, and I bring people on for these calls that I do. I do 2 weekly group calls. The community is big. I have an A to Z curriculum that teaches you from 0 to close to 10,000 subscribers a month. You can literally get those results within 10K a month attached to that, just by joining the group, participating, doing everything that I'm telling you to do, having access to me, having access to my team. You will be able to do that. So links are in the description. Back to regular scheduled programming. You need to be able to then go online and be a presence online. It's no longer enough for you to be moving in real life, in the real world, and think that everything's going to be okay. The minute you go and apply for a job, what is the first thing they're going to ask you? What is your social media? What are you looking at, right? Or who are you? What are they going to be looking at? The woman that you meet at the bar or at church or anywhere is going to ask you what your social media is. They're going to ask you what your Instagram is. They're going to ask you, what do you do? They're going to ask you, hey, and soon it's going to be, do you have a YouTube channel? Right? And if they don't ask you that and you say, well, I'm on YouTube, I make YouTube content, they're going to want to watch you. They're going to start consuming your content and see who you are. This is the best place for men to start evolving beyond the average man, because the average man is non-existent on the internet. Nobody knows who they are. So what is your voice going to be worth? Your voice isn't going to be worth much. When you see injustices that happen in society, injustice, racial injustice, when you look at any type of injustice, financial injustice, all of these things can be addressed if men decided to open up their voices, if men decided to dominate spaces such as YouTube, such as Instagram, X, TikTok even, right? These are all propaganda machines that you can use to be able to craft your own reality, to be able to create your own life, to be able to escape the modern slavery system. Because it's true. I know a lot of people hated on when I said this, but the reality is slavery never disappeared. Slavery just repackaged itself into something else. It repackaged itself into crippling debt that literally causes people to kill themselves. It repackaged itself into the prison system that we have right now. It repackaged itself into so many different aspects that you don't even notice. Like your status as a man is consistently declining. It's almost like it's inflation. It's like influential inflation, where you're at a point where you as a person, your status as a man is decreasing if you remain the same. If you don't become a producer, if you remain a consumer, you will continuously decay. And you'll consume your way all the way down to being below average, to the point where life doesn't even feel like life anymore. Life doesn't feel like a place where you can create impact, where you can actually build something that you're proud of. Depression will start to hit. You'll start to see other men who decided to take place in this digital revolution, in this financial revolution. They started to educate themselves on the tax system. They started to educate themselves on the laws that exist, right? The average man right now has no idea what his laws are, what the laws that they've placed in society are that he can work through. He has no idea what the financial system even looks like. He doesn't even know where money comes from. He doesn't even understand how money's printed. He doesn't understand economic theory. He doesn't understand any of this. This may be you, it may not be you, but this is a wake-up call for you to understand that in a few years, if you remain at that place where you don't have this knowledge, where you don't put yourself out there, where you don't build a network or join a network of very strong men who are actually creating impact in the world, you're going to get to a point where you become non-existent, and you may be at that point right now. But there's always a way to change, and time is of the essence. Again, I'm not here to try to sell people on anything. I'm here to try to open your mind because it helped me. It helped me when I was making $4,000 a month and I thought everything was okay. Oh, $4,000 a month, that's great. But then my bills became $4,500. Then they became $5,000. And how would you ask a 25-year-old who's making $4,000 a month, whose bills are $4,500, $5,000 a month? The price of rent is increasing dramatically. Like you can't even get, like my 1-bedroom apartment when I was living in Utah was $2,500 a month. $2,500 a month was my apartment in Utah. And you have to imagine this, right? Why is this existing? Why is this a thing? I want to walk around a little bit because I like talking while I walk. Jogs my mind. Why does this exist? It exists because of inflation. It exists because the price of life is starting to increase. You didn't ask to be born here. You didn't ask to be born here. But what did you ask? You asked to exist, to enjoy the life that you didn't even want to be a part of. It wasn't your choice. You were procreated and you're here, and now you're literally paying dues to live. You're paying your dues to be able to live. Do you know how crazy that sounds? So it's very important for you to be able to understand this, internalize it, and start taking action. Start a business, whether it's e-commerce, start a business online. That's the new paradigm right now, whether you like it or not. Yes, trades are going to still be there. Join a trade if you can, or learn a trade, because that will never go away. But if you really want that ultimate impact, if you want to be able to maximize and make unlimited amounts of money, learn marketing, learn sales, learn how to brand yourself online so that people can see you, so that they can buy your services, learn how to network with other people. And the way that you network with other people is providing value, and people see that you provide value and they want to work with you, right? That's what you need to start doing. You need to start figuring out your roadmap. You need to start figuring out, how am I going to escape this modern slavery system that's getting worse and worse and worse and worse every single day, with new leaders that are coming around, putting in new policies, things that could affect you, with the United States literally crumbling as we speak. We think it's a safe haven. We think it's the best place. We think it's the promised land. That's what they've told you. That's what the propaganda wants you to believe. The United States is the best place. That's why I moved. Some people may not like the fact that I moved to Romania. I don't care. That doesn't really matter. But what does matter is that you move to a place that's more economically friendly for you, that's still developing, that doesn't have the level of inflation, that doesn't have the level of negativity that exists right now, that doesn't have all of these bad foods that are GMO and all these foods that are affecting your hormones, all these foods that are keeping you at a place where you're physically weak. Your health is literally on the line. You escape that system. You have to start creating that roadmap. You have to start really thinking about a game plan. Give yourself a year to be able to do it. Start to take the action steps today. Create action steps, step by step. What are the different things that you're going to change to then be able to become the man who is influential, wealthy, and free? That's what you need to start thinking about, because the minute you start actually pondering this, the minute you finish watching this video, you're going to start seeing all of these patterns that I'm saying, and you're going to finally understand that I'm not crazy. I'm not. I just perceive things very closely. I observe things. I've observed things all my life. That's the gift that I've had. At 27 years old, I've been able to observe so much to where I can understand what trends are happening. And I make these just thought out moves that people don't understand in the moment, and then they start to realize in the future. I'm not saying that I can tell the future. I'm not saying I can read what the future is going to hold, but I can tell you that the future does not look pretty for the average man at all, because you're not going to be average anymore. You're going to be below average. The average man is going to be the people who even progress a little bit. If you didn't progress, you're only going back. See, life goes like this. Life goes like this. It goes up. And if you're here and life is going up, that means that you're going down because life is just pulling and going faster and faster and faster, and you just feel like you're going to be underwater. So you need to start taking advantage of the fact that you have this type of information. Someone like me, someone like all of these other creators that are waking you up to the reality of what society is going to become so that you can change, so that you can have a leg up, so that you don't fall behind when everything shifts. So that you understand the laws, so that you understand the system, the tax system that exists, so that you can set yourself up properly, so that you understand how money is being made in this day and age, which is the internet. Everyone is waking up to the fact that you need to go on the internet to start making money. You need to start finding other streams of income, not just your job. Yes, keep doing your job. Get a side job if you have to. Go drive Uber. I had a 20-year-old that was gonna work with me, that is working with me now, right? And he called me. I remember he told me, he was like, Martel, I need to get out. I'm literally driving Uber. I'm doing all of these different things to be able to have enough money to then invest in education, to then be able to learn the new ways to be able to actually get ahead in life. A 20-year-old's doing that. And some of you are 35, 40 years old and you don't even want to touch it. You're like, oh, everything's so expensive. I don't want to pay for anything. I don't want to invest in anything. I don't want to do this. I don't want to do that. Great. Fall behind. Fall behind. Because the people who are taking action now are going to be way farther ahead. Because here's the thing, momentum is crazy. The more you take action, the more momentum is going to happen. Right? So you have to start understanding this, internalizing this, and actually taking action. All right. Hopefully this was a wake-up call to you. I appreciate all of you. Again, share this with a friend who needs the wake-up call, who's stuck in that modern slave system cycle that just keeps pulling people in, pulling people in, pulling people into where they can't even get out, destroying the lives of millions of men in every aspect of life. All right. And I'm going to catch you on the next video. Conquer yourself, conquer life, conquer the world. Do everything you can to become the best version of yourself. And I appreciate you.